And just slightly further from this statement of Italy, where the Eurozone finance ministers are saying they look forward to Italian cooperation with the Commission cooperation of a revised budget in line with the EU. Slightly further here on the expansion budget front, where the Finance Minister Tria has said that the 2019 draft budget will not change, but best will fall.
Hey, Tori, how are you? I don't know if you want to try going to YouTube. I'm trying to stream. I got to get this streaming thing down. And I'm pretty sure I know it's streaming, but I'm just curious if you're able to chat still. No matter what I do, the chat doesn't work. So I may have to go with OBS Studio or something like that. But even with OBS Studio, it's not working properly either. So I don't anticipate that I'll be able to see your chat. I can see chat, but unfortunately, no one can chat. So I'm going to let it run anyway. But I'm also guessing that if I play music, you can hear it. You can't hear it in the trade room, but you could hear it in the stream. So I bet you if I turn this song on right now, you can hear it really well in the stream. Am I right, Tori? No, I don't see you type. You can hear that really well and normally? So good. It sounds no good. I saw I could give you guys a concert. Forget the trading. I could just play some music for you. I've done everything that I've studied online to do to get the chat working, which is a critical, most important thing as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, it's easy enough once you go through all the data to figure out how to stream. But the key is chatting. Yeah, I can't see him chatting. That's the problem. Cannot see the chatting no matter what I do. I mean, I have the chat on my screen, but it's not, doesn't appear to be connected to the YouTube chat. And I just cannot figure out why. There's no way to turn it on. I've turned it on. I can turn it off. I can turn it on. It's real easy. But I just can't make it chat. So I just have to do some more research. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do today because I've done everything I can do. And the instructions for doing it with OBS Studio are not working properly. So it's too bad because I know the charts are coming through. I can see them. I can see it streaming. And what's interesting is I can see the chat, but it doesn't seem to be the same chat as what's in my YouTube data. So I don't know. There's nothing I can do about it. It's frustrating though, because it should be easy. It should be easy and fun, not torture. Anyway, we're early, so I'll set my charts up. I wanted to get here a little bit early. It doesn't seem to use a lot of system resources to stream. I thought it would use a lot. It doesn't seem to be using hardly any. But I'll do some more research on the chatting. So we got a few minutes. So some interesting trades this week. I'd say the big trades this week. Well, of course, all the energy trades because they've had 2 stops in a row. So I think energy should be great this week. Bond reports, you want to try them, but they just don't do much. But the bonds are so volatile right now. You kind of think, hey, maybe bonds are going to do something this week. And especially because the Fed's out there. And they're not going to raise rates, apparently, unless they really want to stick it right in Trump's face and raise rates just to show that they could be independent. I mean, that could happen. And that would be quite a, I think, quite a market mover if that happened. I think that would be crazy. And then, so you got 10-year bonds on Tuesday, tomorrow, 30-year bonds Wednesday. WASD on Thursday, right before the FOMC statement. So that should be interesting. Love the WASD. So anyway, end of the day. I guess the markets are a little bit weird today. Natural gas is up. Crude looks like it's unchanged and down. The Dow is up quite a bit. The S&P is up. And the NASDAQ is down. So that's pretty unusual. So tech is hurting. Apple's hurting. I think Apple sales, you know how I feel about Apple. I'm not an Apple guy anymore. I was the biggest Apple person in the world, and I'm real real anti-Apple right now. Hey, Tori, the charts, are they easy to see when you look at them on YouTube? Do they look good? I mean, like they look fine. In other words, if you do a full screen, if you wanted to follow me on YouTube, you could do it that way rather than come in to go to webinar. Is that true or false? You could forget go to webinar if I streamed every trade room. True or false? And Tori, thank you very much. You got an email. That's awesome. Great. So everything is working the way it's supposed to, except I have two problems with regular YouTube Chrome chatting. My webcam won't show up unless I only choose webcam, but it will not show up when I try to send a screen and the webcam at the same time. Because right now I should be seeing my webcam, and I'm not. I should see it like in the corner, a little corner of my screen, but it doesn't show up. Tori, I was trying OBS Studio, which seems to have it all integrated. I never heard of that one, discordapp.com. See, I'm trying to reduce the use of anything extra, obviously, to, reduce my resource usage. That's so critical, which I know you understand. But for trading, you don't want to, you know me, I'm a lunatic when it comes to resource usage. So I'll throw that in my info, and I'll definitely check into it. I mean, because got to get the chat working. That's the most fun part of the whole thing. That one I never heard of. It's funny. I do a lot of YouTube and I watch a ton of stuff, but I never really did much of it myself. I've always watched it. You know what I mean? So if you don't do it, there's a lot of tools out there. I'm sure, just like trading, there's a million tools. But I love the fact that music is real easy to hear because they took that feature out of GoToWebinar. So the trade, I'm debating whether I want to test this live the day before election day when the markets are mixed. So I don't think it should matter. Friday, we got stopped. Friday was the first stop in a while. And see, the YouTube has the wrong label, I believe. It should not say Beige Book. And that's not the feed that I chose. So I hope that's not what it says. It should just say Trade Room. And it might say Test, or it might just say Live Trade Room. It should just say Live Trade Room. That's it. And then once we get it going, I'll put the name of the report there, or the name of the event that we're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you go to settings and all that stuff, and they really just don't get into the chat or how to enable the chat, other than you can turn it on. And then you can pop it out, get the URL of it. Anyway, somebody's got to be an expert. I need a friend who's an expert. That's such a good way of learning stuff. Otherwise, you got to go through so many videos, and such a waste of time. Everybody's just trying to sell their subscriptions on YouTube. So if I were going to test this live today, my goal really would just be to see if you could hit the first target. It's just directional that you're testing initially on a trade like this. You're just looking directional. Are you going to get your proper direction even though it's a fast trade? Right? So we've been continually going for 7 ticks, and we've been continually using 12 tick stop. So it's a $60 risk. It's a breakout trade. It's a 7 tick bracket. And if it doesn't fill in about 15, 20 seconds, I would cancel it. And the entry time $15.50.02. So I think we got to test it. You know, we've been looking at it enough. I think we have to test it. So we're going to call this end of day. One contract test. All right. So that it's there. So I'm going to risk $60 plus slippage. Because we got to know if this trade works. And that means we got to do it more than once. If it gets stopped today, we can't like say, okay, it doesn't work. So I want to see if I get my 7 ticks. And then we want to watch it carefully and see what it does. I'm very happy to hear that, Tori, that you could see things really well. That's awesome. Now, Tori, I don't know if you're still there, but I don't know if you can see me chatting. Yeah, I can see my chatting. That's what's so frustrating, but I can't see anybody else. So let me get on live. I'm down $1.80 this morning from ISM. Just stopped me out like in 1 second. Not in 1 second, but just the news was mixed. You couldn't get out. Had no option for profit at all on the trade. None. But I'll tell you something. Gold has been trading extremely. It's been extremely difficult. And the RTY with the right bracket would have been awesome on the trade this morning. And we've got to do a lot more RTY testing ASAP. Reduce our use of gold right now because gold is not responding well. I mean, there are trades where the big trades, gold generally, even non-farm, gold didn't respond that great. Nothing responded that great for the last 2 non-farms. They've both been very small, almost no matter what you traded. Small profit on the NQ, but people tend to bail really quick. See HE on non-farm, on oil, on gas, on CPI retail together, Canada GDP. I don't agree. I don't think it makes a darn bit of difference. Those reports they move. I mean, non-farm moved. Non-farm moved. I think instruments, I think markets change, and you've got to stay on top of those instruments. You know, Kath, I love you. Thank you for paying attention. Don't forget, get that strategy on live if you're going to test something. All right, so 1550.02. Got plenty of time. Make sure you're set up right. I'm just testing one. I want to see if we get the direction. And if it doesn't really fill, I'll probably cancel because this usually is quick. Okay? It's usually quick. 1550.02. I mean, we're getting the same kind of goofy movement that we get before all these trades. Keep in mind that my charts are very spread apart. That's why it looks crazier. You can look at the right chart and it looks quite a bit better. Okay. And that's what I forgot to do for non-farm. I was testing reports for non-farm last week. And the reason my trade didn't fire, you see how the date when you go to data series must be today's date. Mine was on 10/5 because I had been testing a report on 10/5. And then when I exited Ninja, I saved the workspace just out of habit. And instead, so that when you boot up Ninja, it booted it up with the old contract, not the old contract, but with the old chart. It didn't have the current chart in there. Just a very, not going to make an excuse, just a platform error. I mean, I wouldn't even call it esoteric. It's just, you would think that when you reboot Ninja, that it would reset the chart to the current day. I mean, I believe, and I'm not positive, but I think Ninja 7 does that. And I'm not positive. I got to check that. Thank you, Kath. HE, you got stopped on non-farm Friday. How did you trade, though? What'd you trade? What'd you do? And it was not an easy trade. You could look at all the, end of day. Yeah, end of day was just a loser. It was not a horrible loser. And it might have been end of day HE on Friday. It didn't fill very quickly. It did not fill very quickly. It might have been, it may be that if it doesn't fill right away, you should just cancel it. I mean, like within a second or two. I have never done that testing, but I mean, just anecdotally, every single trade, 99.9% of all the trades fill immediately. Everything that we've been looking at, they fill immediately. That much I think we can agree on. Right? They fill quick. Yeah, manual. Why don't you start using the software, HE? What, do you not want to, or what? You could make it simple. You don't have to do everything. You know what I mean? You could just set up a very simple strategy if you want to. You don't have to use all the trailing and everything. Because that's what the software is great for. It avoids any kind of error due to not having enough speed, you know, not getting set fast enough. That's what it's great for. Look at this market, though. So everybody going to go out and vote tomorrow? I hope everybody in the U.S. goes and votes. It's important. So we got plenty of time here. So I'm thinking if it doesn't fill pretty quick, I might just hit the button. Bingo. So I'm just got a 7-tick bracket, 1 target, 7 ticks, 12-tick stop, $60 risk. But you know, you can get some slippage on it because it's fast moving. No trailing, no nothing. 1550.02. All right. Ah, right, HE. That's right. Okay. I didn't know that that was the only thing that you traded. I wasn't sure. So there is a new version of NT8. And that's the other thing. I want to see, make sure I don't get any errors. Got a minute and a half. Got my finger on the button. So for me, if it doesn't fill right away, I probably will cancel because they fill right away more often than not. So I canceled. It didn't fill right away. It just sat. Okay. That's why I canceled. I don't want to be in the trade if it just sits because I don't know what it's going to do. All right. It's pretty much right where it was. Let's see. All right. Now it's going down. So we need 7 ticks down. We need 14 ticks, right? From about where my cursor was. So I don't feel, I feel like we did the right thing today. I'm not afraid to trade. That's the rule. If it doesn't fill, you got to take a break. And right now it's a little bit slow for the last couple of days. So let's see what would have happened here. We would have had 36.75. It might have worked. I mean, because it was roughly 36.75. Okay. So 7 ticks is 2 points. So you got a 2-point bracket, right? Roughly. So you're 36.75 and it went to 34.25. So let's say, so we would be 30. Now, see, it would have filled. It would have worked. It would have worked. So it may be, we got to do, I have to look at things a little bit more and make a absolute unequivocal decision about whether or not I want to stay in the trade if it doesn't trigger right away. It may not. I think we're never going to know without doing so much testing that it just might not matter. It just might not matter. I mean, today it worked perfectly. Friday it did not. I mean, I'd really have to go back, which I'm going to do, go back and look at my end of the day trades and see what the deal is. Let me turn off our streaming